This video is going to explain how to complete day 2 of the Harlem Renaissance project. So step 1 is to watch this video to explain how to complete the activity for today. Step 2 is to open up the project directions, which are right here. These are linked to yesterday's assignment as well, so you should have read over these yesterday to get a good indication of what you are going to be doing in this project. But you can read over these again if you have any questions. Today you're mostly going to be focusing on this where section. We'll talk about it in just 1 minute. Step 3 of the assignment is to open up your questions that you completed yesterday. So yesterday, one of the steps was to complete these questions here about the person that you chose from the Harlem Renaissance website. So you needed to answer some background questions about your subjects, talk about the contribution they made to their culture, so what were they famous for, and then look at the intersections part of the website to explain a collaborative relationship that the person was in. Linked to the bottom of this is the rubric for the project, which is also on your lesson, and it's step 4. So look over this rubric. You want to really focus on this first column here, the 5 points column, to make sure that you have all of this information in your project. And if you answered those questions well, then you will have all of these things. But you want to make sure that you review this and that you understand exactly what you have to do to get 5 points in each of these categories. So in order to open up these questions that you answered yesterday, if you go to your Google Drive and you search Faces of the Harlem Renaissance, or Faces of Harlem questions, you should be able to pull up your answers. Those were, again, in yesterday's lesson, and it will have your name on it and say Faces of Harlem questions. So if you look that up in your Google Drive, you will be able to find these questions that you answered yesterday. You'll need this to complete your project and to complete the assignment for today. And the last step in your lesson for today is to submit your project. So you're going to want to go to this where section and review again the different things that you can do to complete this project. So you can do a screencastify, you can do a pictochart, a Prezi, Google Sites, Vocru, any of those things you can use to put the information together for your project. If you have a different website or a different presentation tool you want to use, just make sure you ask me first so that I can approve that for you. The rubric is also linked here, and under here are the presentation tools that you can use in order to put this information together for your project. So if you wanted to use pictochart, you can just click right here on pictochart and it'll take you right to their website. If you've never used pictochart before, you can click sign up right here. And you can click sign up with Google, and that will use your Google account, and it will just put in all the information they need and create an account for you. And so that would be an easy way to use one of these tools. Same thing, Prezi, Vocru, all of those things are linked right to this page here. So once you're in one of these presentation tools, again, you're going to use this rubric to make sure that you've answered all of the questions, and you're going to use your questions from yesterday to put this information. So you'd want to have a slide or a section of your project where you talk about their background, the person's background. You would want to have a section of your project that talks about their contribution to the culture. So what are they famous for? You'd want to have a section where you talk about the collaborative relationship the person was in. And then if you go back to the rubric, notice you're going to also want to put in a picture. That's going to count for a section of your grade. Make sure that you're creative in this project, so you're not just kind of putting this information, copying and pasting it. You're really putting some time and some effort into making this really creative. And then again, look through here, make sure that you have answered all of these questions in really thorough detail to make sure that you get all of the points for this project. So after you have completed this, you've checked to make sure that you have all of the points possible, you're going to submit this in the Google Classroom. So in order to do that, down where it says add, by where it says to mark as done, you can open that up and you can attach your project. So depending on how you saved your project, if you saved it as onto your computer, you would upload it there from a file on your computer. If you saved it to your Google Drive, you would click the Google Drive button. Or if you made a website, so if you made a Google Sites, you could get the link to your Google site and put it as a link in your project, in your lesson. Once you're done with that, you've uploaded your project, you're going to click Mark as Done. Make sure that your project has uploaded. It will tell you if you didn't upload it, if it didn't upload, if you didn't attach anything to the lesson, it will remind you to do that. So make sure that you have uploaded something so that I get it, because as soon as you click Mark as Done, I will get it. And if there's nothing on there, I'll have to give you a 0 and return it to you for you to submit it again. So in order to make sure that you get your points right away, make sure that it uploads correctly. If you have any questions about how to use any of those websites or how to submit your project, please get in touch with me as soon as possible so I can help you out.